Trump, you have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous historical figures?
Yeah, I'd say George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I would say I'm far superior to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Now, you know I'm only kidding, right? Because when I say that, the fake news is going to go wild. They're going to say he considers himself to be better than Washington. But you never know. You never know. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm here to do a job. We've had a great 35 days or whatever it might be, a month, a little more than a month. We've accomplished tremendous amounts. Not only this would be a very great achievement if we could get the war stopped and get them back to normalization. I think that's going to happen. We've had very good talks on both sides, as you know. But I think we've done a very good job, just generally. If you look at all of the things we've done in 30 days, they're saying there's never been a opening for a president. The first month, there's never been a first month like we've had. And this is one of the very important things. This, to me, is one of the most important things because we have tremendous death taking place as we speak, and I don't want to have that. You know, think of the parents, whether they're in Russia or Ukraine, think of the parents of all these people being killed needlessly.
They came to our territory.
Should have never started. This would have, if I were president, this would have never started.
Mr. President, will you continue sending military aid to Ukraine after the U.S. signs this agreement with Ukraine?
Yeah, we're going to be continuing.
To President Zelensky, do you feel like the U.S. is on your side, that President Trump is on your side at this moment?
Right.
What do you think?
He wants to know, do you think that, sort of a stupid question. I guess we wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
I think that the United States on our side from the very beginning of occupation, and I think that President Trump on our side, and of course, I'm sure that the United States President will not stop support. This is crucial for us. It's important for us. Yes. And Putin, the president, speaks about the people and the soldiers which are dying, but they came to our territory, they came to our land. They began this war, and they have to stop. And I think this is the question, with really the most important question. Can President Trump, I hope yes, with some other allies, to stop Putin, withdraw these enemies, our enemy, withdraw these troops from our land? And I think that you asked about the history, I think that if President, or when, he will stop Putin, if President Trump will bring peace to our country, I think he will be on this wall.
We've had very, very good talks.
Military aid to Ukraine.
President Zelensky just said that there would be no compromises with Vladimir Putin. I just wanted to ask both of you, firstly, are there compromises that you think that President Zelensky is going to have to make? And President Zelensky, is there anything that you might be thinking that you may be able to offer or bring to the table, for example, elections? Thank you.
I think you're going to have to always make compromises. You can't do any deals without compromises. So certainly he's going to have to make some compromises, but hopefully they won't be as big as some people think you're going to have to make. That's all. That's all we can do. I'm here as an arbitrator, as a mediator to a certain extent between two parties that have been very hostile. To put it mildly, they've been very hostile. There's been a vicious war. There's been a vicious war. You know, it's a very level battlefield, and those bullets go out, and as I've said many times, we were talking about it with Pete, many times the only thing stopping those bullets is a human body. And in the case we're talking about, generally young human bodies are stopping a lot of bullets. It's dead level. That's why it's great farmland. It's great land. It's great farmland, but there's very little protection against the bullets that are being, and other things that are being shot. So all I can do is see if I can get everybody at the table and get an agreement. And I think we're going to end up with an agreement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably be even here today.
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president? For you, Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker?
Damn, look at his reaction.
Not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars. And I've got a
I
question.
hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, if you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate, and this is one of the things that we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not have been a good situation. What was your second
And
question?
my second question is for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest, why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I
the
don't have
dignity of this
such-
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this?
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Than, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What the fuck? Is that question?
You said yesterday that you have. Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine? There's no peace.
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine, yeah, sure. Hopefully I won't have to send
Who is
very
the Giga
much,
Chats?
because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're
The
looking
Ukraine
for-
guy? I don't know if I like the Ukraine guy. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not like, yeah. It's like, well, he should give a fuck, you know. He should give a fuck. That's the issue, man. He doesn't give a fuck. That's the issue. I don't know. I never liked this guy. Also because he's an actor, you know. So maybe that's why. About his outfit? No, I don't give a fuck if he has what he wears. I don't give a fuck. I think he looks more professional than Trump. No, okay, that's also not that's also not true. But like, yeah, I mean, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if he wears a suit or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives? Like, actually, like nobody gives a fuck, right? But what I'm saying is like, he's not explaining and he's not talking to or about why the war actually started. You know, the war actually started because there was an agreement or an understanding that Ukraine would never join the NATO. Right? That's where it started. So him just being like, yeah, Putin invaded us is like kinda like, you know, it's fake news. It's like Kamala Harris type shit, man. You know? That's why I'm kinda happy that Trump won. Because if Kamala Harris won, I think a third world war would actually start. But with that being said, you know, this guy is also like a Kamala Harris type person. I'm just gonna say it, man. Like that's what he looks to me. Like a very, you know, very progressive type of person. You know what I'm saying? Also, where the fuck am I going? Yeah, I don't know. It feels like he's big dicking everybody. He's egoing everybody. What the truth is like people are actually dying, you know? And the war needs to stop. That's it, you know?
Forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, you know, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, you know, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You know, you fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stopped shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably. You know, we have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this
What?
deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over.
What the fuck did I die?
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, reflects
Mr.
or
President,
something.
Thank you.
Or
You had
what the
U.S.
fuck?
Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that.
Wait, this guy sells
you know,
stuff.
We're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th.
Of course.
It would
Of
have
course,
never happened,
Jacket,
because, you
of
know, Iran
course.
was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from no money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away, and you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel I have an obligation to try and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer, yes, if I can answer,
Please,
sorry,
go ahead.
please.
And I do like your clothing, by the way.
Yeah, really?
Even though I think he's a great guy, by the way. But I don't know if you two like each other. But you know what? I think he's dressed. I think he's
why?
dressed
I like this
beautifully.
guy. I don't know
I think
him.
he's dressed beautifully.
So I have more serious things than answer on such
Yeah,
questions.
sure, that's
I will
okay.
answer on more serious
That's a good
questions if I can.
That's good.
Yeah, so please, about security guarantees and about just ceasefire. We can't just speak about ceasefire and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken his own signature. 25 times he broken ceasefire.
But he never broke to me. He never broke to me.
No, you were the president.
He
You
never
were the
broke-
president
he
during.
never broke to me.
In 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you, but he had during those periods. He had conversations with our side, and we had Normandy format. You know, the France, Germany, Ukraine, and Russia, and he broken 25 times. That's why we will never accept just ceasefire. It will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough. because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our...
Hello? Am I attacking or what?
You know,
What the fuck?
That we have all the world knows that we have meeting, yes? Why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war. And you hear now the president. So why he's using? So he doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want. But I hope that we will do it. Really, we'll do it. Security. When we speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents. Strong
Biden never
from
said
the Europeans,
egomaniac shit like
because
that.
They don't want to divide allies.
Yeah, I was like, I was literally thinking of like, why does Trump think that he's like, you know what I'm saying? Why is he thinking that he's like he's the person that's gonna save the world? You know what I'm saying? That's how it makes it sound. So I feel like I'm watching like two egos battle. You know, that's basically what it is. Just who has the biggest ego, you know? Obviously, like, Trump always says some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not really, but, like, he always says some dumb shit, yo. Or he switches, like, the subject or the topic or whatever, right? Well, I believe you're unbiased. Because first of all, you're not gay, right? And second of all, you're not white. So, you know, if you put those things together, one, you don't like Kamala Harris because you're not gay, and two, you're not a rich white guy, you know. Those are the two people like Trump. That's the, you know what I'm saying, or a hillbilly type shit. I will say there's a positive. I think too, man. Because the thing is, like, if you're the leader of America, you need to be a strong leader. It is what it is. You have to be a strong leader. And if you believe you don't, then... Bruh, if Kamala Harris won, man, let's be real here, man. Like, nah, the world would have been over, man. Like, actually. And I'm not talking because she's a woman. You know? Because a lot of people might think that, oh, because she's a woman, that's why she did. Nah, bruh. She's fucking stupid, man. She's a follower. People tell her what to do, what to say. Well, also with Trump, though. Obviously, Trump also has a whole team. And like the vice president, for example, Harris, or whatever his name is. Oh, never mind. That's not what his name is. That's not what his name is. But whatever, the vice president. I kind of like him because he's actually like a serious guy and, you know. It's like, imagine it's RP, right? Then you have Mr. Paff is Donald Trump. And then you have Alec. You know, Alec is like, you know? Alec is like, the vice president, you know, actually the serious guy that actually makes the deal and stuff. Also, I have feelings like about, you know, South Park episode, the douche versus the, you know what I'm saying? The douche versus the whatever. And both of these guys are making great points. It's just like the third sandwich. Yeah, like a third or whatever. The point is, I feel like Zelensky is trying to ego this shit. He's like, you know, because he's in too deep, man. He's in too deep. You know, all his people are gonna think that he, you know, lost. And that's also like another issue is like the pride. You know, pride is yeah. You're gonna kill the whole country, technically, you know. So Zelensky is trying to do everything to look as strong as possible, you know. Nobody's gonna like make him look into a joke, you know, especially during the wartime. And we all know that Putin likes Trump and Trump like Putin, you know what I'm saying? They both like each other. Why? Because they're trillion-dollar, you know, leaders of the world. There's not many of those people around. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they only care about capital and money and, you know, making the thing. Also, what you also need to understand is that Putin has been doing this since the 90s. You know? So Putin is also like, he doesn't give a fuck about America. He thinks America's probably a joke. You know? Every 4 year, things change, you know? New people are here, new people are there. You know what I'm saying? This guy fires that guy fires... You know, the whole CIA or the FBI has a new, you know, CEO or whatever it's called, you know, director. So if you put all that shit together, it's like... And for him, he's been doing the same shit for 30 years, you know? Like, you cannot even compare, like, Trump to anybody, any American president, you know? Like, what? Oh, damn, 8 years? What is 8 years versus 30 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, he might be a dictator. Sure, he might be, you know, whatever. But there is still a certain, like, lineage there. You know? Fuck, I'm dying! Bro, where are these guys coming from? Oh, from here. I'm dead. Damn, bro. I'm fucking dead, man.
Alliance connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial. This is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And they are...
I like his accent, though.
So, air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop. And will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us, you know? It's not about me. He hates Ukrainians. He thinks that we are not a nation. He thinks, and he shared these thoughts, I think maybe with your team also, I don't know. But with all the Europeans, in media, officially and not, he always said that there is no such country, such nation, such language, and such life like Ukrainian. No, he really doesn't respect all the Ukrainians, and he wants to destroy us.
That is true. That is true.
And you are right, Mr. President.
That is
That's
true.
2%. This document, maybe other documents, it's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, after these...
That is true. There was zero fake news in that, what he just said. Zero propaganda.
This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay.
Do you agree
This
with
is the rule. Putin began this war, he has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
President, under these circumstances, do you envision a trilateral summit with Putin and President Zelensky?
Wait 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and
Yes.
Ukraine or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country.
Yeah.
Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too. but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in. And they should be at least
Oh, here it
equal.
comes. Here it comes,
You
Jacket.
understand that?
Here it comes.
Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between. Why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful. But we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
Please, go ahead.
can I ask you about the agreement again today? What changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal. So
What was the
I'm
difference?
just-
Was there a deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed.
Along with minerals.
I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, what and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and
Wait, is this before or after it happened?
Putin?
I don't know,
under
but
these
well, they
circumstances?
don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay? They do not like each other. This is not a love match. And it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much, I'm going to be very nice, run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
Mr. President.
Sorry, just a second. About any negotiations.
I kind of like this guy more, man.
I want really to tell you.
To be honest, the more I listen to this guy, the more I kind of like it. 1 second. Like, he's a man, you know? We can agree that he's a fucking man, right? But ego and pride definitely is gonna be his downfall. He wants to win. That's the thing. He wants to win. He wants to be the guy that beat Zelensky, right? That's his goal. You know, because who can say that? Who can say he beats? You know what I'm saying?
The United States should
I do not
have
agree
allowed
with
this
his
to happen.
attitude, though.
Okay? The
Especially
United
especially
States,
as a president.
run by a man that didn't know much, I'm going to be very nice, run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
Mr. President.
Sorry, just a second. About
Just
any
checking.
negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, more than Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at the will be at the negotiation table. Then, of course, United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defending the line, and they have real life, and our people are dying. That's why they helped us. And also, it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kyiv or Odessa, which is going to be a 30-year-old?
I mean, he's not wrong there too.
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa, but a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of cities that are not recognizable. There's not a building standing.
No.
And a lot of things have to
Mr. President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online, but we live. Ukraine is fighting, and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President,
soldiers, he lost everything. Yes. So,
Look at his reaction. See, that's what I'm talking about.
and maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So.
You know, it's like...
Mr. President, one more. I mentioned Poland.
Please, go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin, and what did he say that?
A couple of days ago.
And what did he tell you that gave you the assurance that he wanted peace?
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good. And I've known him for a long time. I've dealt with him for a long time. He had to suffer through the Russia hoax. You know, Russia was a hoax. It was all Biden. It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do, is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess, because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one. If this doesn't get solved now, it's not going to get solved for a long time. So I hope we're going to get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prime Minister Starmer claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes, and even more worrisome is pressuring American companies to censor Americans on its behalf. How can he be a reliable, trustworthy partner when he says things that are demonstrably false on such an important topic?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we
Who
thought
was
they
this
took
girl,
it
and
very-
why is she
very
speaking
much
to him?
too far.
What did she tell him?
was
You know?
very strong on it. So was I. So was Marco, and we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
We have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of those, particularly as it impacts Americans. And there's real concern that American speech, which is online, could fall into the hands of British or any country's jurisdiction. And so this is a point the Vice President made at Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it, we're going to need to take action in that regard.
Mr. President.
It's actually a very important question.
We spoke about this in detail with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary, and others at lunch yesterday, and I know that Secretary of Commerce Lutnick followed up in private meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right to speak their mind, even if we in this room disagree with them. They have the right to speak their mind in the public square, which is often online these days. And we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously if we have to. I do think that under the President's leadership, we're going to find common ground with our friends in the UK on this question, but it remains to be seen. The principle that will guide us is we believe in free speech in this country and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Mr. President, on the deal, is there any other oil and gas component to the deal? Is it all critical?
A little bit. We'll see.
On LNG?
But we're not really looking for that so much. We got a lot. We have more than anybody in the world, by far. So no, we're not talking about it too much, but a little bit. I think it affects also, but for the most part, no.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG?
What the?
As part of the deal, or is
No.
that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay. And how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am. I'd love to know.
It went well. I think we're going to have a deal.
On the minerals deal, Mr. President, some of those minerals are in the east of Ukraine, not far from the front lines and in areas that Russia has occupied. Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest
Well,
there?
we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of area. It's a very big area we're talking about, so we'll take a look. I'll study that and I'll see.
And who would protect those minerals if they are U.S. interests? Would that be Ukrainian
They'll be
forces?
protected. The
European
agreement
forces?
will protect them.
U.S.
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement. You know?
Right, but what if Russia tries to invade or there's Russian aggression in those spots?
I just told you, I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal.
Some people may wonder why.
You know, they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on surviving, because CNN's got such low ratings, I don't think they're going to survive. Let's go. Please, go.
One more. I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies, great muscle cars, but also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland. And
Oh, here it comes. That
you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with
Here it
both
comes.
of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be
Here it
so
comes.
tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Here's
he
goes.
occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was,
he killed,
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
it doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
what
She's
if
asking, what if Russia
Putin
breaks the
breaks
ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay? What if they broke it?
What? Nah. This is. They went too far. What did he just say, man? Yo, Jacket, you witnessing this or what? Nah, this is crazy. Ooh, intelligence. We need that shit.
I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks.
I need the back.
We'll see. I don't know.
All right, guys, come on. Wait, hey, come on, let's go. Guys, come on, let's move, please.
Let me see if I can put cold damage, cold resistance on this shit. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. I mean, it ended off better, but there was a point there where it was very bad. Damn. Damn. Yeah, send it over, Rudy. But I might want to watch more of this shit. Lightning. So we need cold. No, we can't. This item may not have another suffix. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm not gonna say it. I have a lot of thoughts and shit, but I'm not gonna say it. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm not gonna say it. Let's see. Is there more? Are there more? Is there live? Because they had like they had like a dinner. Is it done? Are they done? Didn't they have lunch? Or is it over? What you gonna say about that, bruh? You know? The fuck? What the fuck, bro? How is it ending? What's the ending, man? I want to see the next episode, bro. When is the next episode dropping? Oh, motherfucker. Huh? What the fuck was that? Oh, this guy wants to buy my shit.
It's official, the AI hype train just went on model, but not good enough to feed the AI hype monster. And it looks increasingly likely that we're not headed into a technological singularity, but rather a sigmoid of sorrow. Sam Altman couldn't even be bothered to leave his newborn kid in the hospital to show up to the product launch, and instead sent in a bunch of interns to demo it. And that's crazy because we're talking about Orion here. In 2023, tech leaders signed a petition to stop training big models like this. Altman himself begged the government to regulate it, and the only thing more disappointing than GPT 4.5 is the release of the Epstein files. In today's video, we'll find out if we just reached the limits of pre-training in generative pre-trained transformers. It is February 28, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. I didn't want to make another crappy AI video today, but the bat signal was triggered. Anytime an official video gets ratioed like this, I have no choice but to make a video. Before you unsubscribe though, I've got an interesting Postgres video on the way. The first thing to know about GPT 4.5 is that it's extremely expensive. If you thought Claude was expensive at $15 per million tokens, GPT 4.5 is 5 times more expensive at $75 per million output tokens. Actually, no, correction, that's input tokens. It's $150 per million output tokens. And to chat with it, it's currently only available to the $200 per month pro users. I tried it out myself, and it does seem to emit chill vibes, but the problem is that's highly subjective. However, in the launch, OpenAI talked about a new vibes benchmark that's supposed to measure creative thinking.
The best way to get a feel for the model is to talk to it. So let's jump into a demo.
A lot of people on the internet
what is like an algorithm?
But as an introvert myself, I think they did a great job. In addition, it apparently has a far lower hallucination rate. But what I found is that it still makes a lot of silly mistakes. It's not self-aware and has no idea what GPT 4.5 even is, and says its training cutoff is October 2023. It was, however, able to tell me how many R's are in strawberry. That felt like a huge leap forward, but I quickly became disappointed when it gave me the wrong number of L's in Lollapalooza. Now, when it comes to programming and science, I didn't even try, because we already know it's not going to perform as well as the deep thinking models like O3. Then to make matters worse, on the Aider polyglot coding benchmark, it's not only worse at programming in DeepSeek, but also hundreds of times more expensive. Now, if you're an Elon Musk hater, you'll want to take a long rip of copium right now, because currently xAI's Grok is the best model in the world. That's not my opinion, it's the opinion of the betting market. Although by the end of 2025, OpenAI is still the favorite to have the best model, but its odds are on the decline. That's problematic for OpenAI though, because they're raising billions and billions of dollars as they transition to for profit and will need to maintain a massive valuation. Altman says there is no wall and believes they can scale these models almost infinitely. That's assuming he gets trillions of dollars from SoftBank and the Saudis to build these data centers. My theory as an unqualified shitposter is that they failed to train GPT-5 with any significant improvement, despite scaling up the number of parameters in compute. GPT 4.5 is the biggest model they've ever created, and now they're lowering the bar for GPT-5, which Altman described a few weeks ago being more like a router that automatically chooses the best model based on your phone. And that's highly disappointing because I was expecting to be a post-apocalyptic warlord by now, battling robots and barbecuing rats over burning garbage cans for dinner. But instead I live in this dystopia where artificial superintelligence never comes and nothing ever happens. But if you're a computer science student, that plateau is great news. AI coding tools are incredible, but they're most useful to real human programmers who know what they're doing. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. And you can start getting really good at programming for free thanks to this video's sponsor, Brilliant. Their platform.
Damn. You motherfucking shit game, brr! Turn this motherfucking shit off. Yeah. Turn this motherfucking shit off. Yeah. Bro, what is damaging me? Oh, it's the poison, I think. I have like 0. Actually, I have minus 20.
The Brand King. His time has almost come. Then hope will be... I...
See, this is a great map, man. Look, it's completely open. Y'all know me. MG. On the lady, no key. And you know me. No cheese. No cheese. No cheese. No cans. No peas. No cheese. Huh?
Just need a moment to see the ship. Don't keep
Damn. Damn, what the fuck? Damn. Getting absolutely destroyed. What the? Why am I dying? Is it the chaos? I think it's the chaos. Alright, we need to get another upgrade. We need to get another upgrade. Something with chaos resist. Where do I put this? Jewel.
Made any progress?
Alright, what are we gonna upgrade? I guess we can do our necklace, right? New 109 int. Damn. Yeah, we cannot. It's because of the jam. Flame dash requires that much int. Now we only need 61 and 77. Yeah, flame dash is just way too high. We don't even need it to be that high. So now we just need 3 intelligence. 74. Yo! Dus de... Wie meneer Vol? Yo! Is goed. Nee. Rustig. Welkom. Wel, wil je zien de professor Olida? Ja man, je bent wel laat gekomen, mee.
Do I hear the...
Exile?
Finn, hier zo in België. Ja, welkom in België. Ziekte. Hoe is het met jou? Beetje zin in de... Ja, ik weet niet welke liedjes hij wil gewoon. Wacht. Mijn liedje? Ik heb totaal 25 miljoen streams. En mijn hoogste is op Spotify. Ik heb Energy Check. Spotify die heeft 1 miljoen punt nog. Maar totaal heeft hij 1,9 miljoen als je kijkt naar al de, ja toch, Apple Music en al die andere. Dit is 1,1 miljoen. Koud, hè? Je komt van Nederland, je brengt de kou mee, ja? Is te ingewikkeld. Spijt me, extra. Ja, dat was... Oké, dus dit is de Path of Exile 1, die andere was 2. Snap je? Maar deze heeft meer bullshit. Ja. Nou, kun je dat nou? Huh? Deze liedjes zijn voor deze ja toch? Zijn demos.
VLC Beats Maras.
I'm waking up my neighbors tonight. This shit is on sight like I have no life. I'm here with all my dress all night. I might switch lanes but never switch sides. Hands off the wheel, I'm speeding. Never give a fuck, I'm cheating. Streets is the only thing I'm feeding. Call me for a business meeting, but I don't trust no one. Grew up with nothing to believe in. I got something wrong with my head. I got something wrong with my life. I can come up right here, but I can't make up my mind. I got something wrong with my head. I got something wrong with my life. I can get it up right here, but I can't make up my mind. In the kitchen serving 11. I don't wanna make you relevant. I don't care if you are talented. You don't spit fire, you're out of your element. If you are sick, I have medicine. Building this shit, I am hammering. Hating on me, but I'm entering. In the gendering, in the rendering. Handling. That is our handling. That is our handling. That is our handling. That is our handling.
Don't you move until it's transfer. If you eat on my block, I'm taking 1/3. He's making a lot, get him absurd. Don't want to see you until it's confirmed. Everything I own, I have earned. Every mistake I have learned. Make sure your clothes are burned. She will leave you and do with nothing. No plans after 9 weeks, I'm cutting. You don't make any sale, you judging. Guys when hearing bikes, they are ducking. Like Leo Messi, always on the right wing. You keep taking else, I just win. 200 miles on my way to Berlin. In the kitchen serving elephants. I don't wanna make you relevant. I don't care.
Bro, waar komt deze muziek vandaan, hè? Zoek deze. 1990, Dr. Dre. Bro, ik denk, waar komt deze muziek de hele tijd? Ik hoor al zo.
If you're talented, you don't spit fire, you're out of your element. That is our handling. That is our handling. That is our handling. That is our handling. Yo, shoot them everywhere, till he bleeds out. Yo. Ja, hey, ja, hey, ja, hey, ja. Shoot them everywhere, till we bleeds out. Shoot them everywhere, till we bleeds out. Shoot them everywhere, till we bleeds out. Till we bleeds out.
Deze man doet nog niet eens Engels, hè. Dit is de eerste keer of tweede keer dat hij het Engels.
Out, shoot them everywhere, till we out, shoot them everywhere, till we out, shoot them everywhere, till we out, shoot them everywhere, till we
shoot them everywhere, motherfucker, I don't care. Got the stuff, put up with the net. Hey, that is in the nighttime. You know I'm gonna nightlife. This is not the nightlife. This time on the fight time. Fight with everybody, motherfucker. If I survive, yeah.
Shoot them everywhere till we bleed out. Shoot them everywhere till we bleed out. Shoot them.
Toevallig daarnet zat ik die andere liedjes ook te luisteren van. Deze is van Brian. Deze moeten wij
in de night, werken in de night. Zwart gekleed, ik ben altijd in de wijk. Route naar succes, ik ben op alles voorbereid. Sla in mijn zak en die shit die moet nog kwijt. In de night, werken in de night. Zwart gekleed, ik ben altijd in de wijk. Route naar succes, ik ben op alles voorbereid. Sla in mijn zak en die shit die moet nog kwijt.
Hij wil hem niet afmaken.
Broer, hij heeft geen...
Hij wil hem niet afmaken. Hij
moet maar
niet zo gay klinken.
Ja, maakt niet uit. Ik ga die backings doen, niet hij. Ik weet al hoe hij is. Hij voelt zich niet comfortabel met die... Nee, snap je? Dus die gaat die doen. Want ik heb scheid, bro. Boeit me geen... Weet toch? Deze is ook goed.
up and I can wind up, no deal with them. Wat is de vet deep, het denken dat dit een feest is. Behalen van mij, maar ik blijf er niet naar de day. Hey, en ik blijf er niet aan het nee. Blijf er niet in die kale zee, ik ga er niet in die kale snee.
Ik moet harder gaan, ik moet harder gaan. Op de linkerbaan, op de linkerbaan. Ik moet harder gaan, ik moet harder gaan. Op de linkerbaan, op de linkerbaan. Dit is die limit, die limit gaat fout. 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 Dit is die limit, die limit gaat fout.
Ja, deze moeten we gewoon, toch die.
Doe eens die Nardo RS. Dat is met die 2 boys, maar ik weet niet man, ik vind die gewoon hard.
Oh, helemaal van het begin. Geen touch.
Deze is die hoofd heet, hoofd deeg. Dat was de gekste lijn die ik ooit in mijn leven heb gehoord.
De Libby die ik weet. Hoofd is heet, dit de Libby die ik weet. Hoofd is heet, dit de Libby die ik weet. Hoofd is heet, dit de Libby die ik weet. Hoofd is heet, dit de Libby die ik weet. Hoofd heet, dit de Libby die ik weet. Hoofd heet, dit de Libby die ik weet.
En mijn motherfucking hoofd heet, hoofd leeg, hoofd deeg.
Ja, deze moeten we ook, die moeten we ook afmaken. Deze
dat is echt vers. Ik hoor je chick vindt met de bom net als een Semtex. Hier gaat alles goed aan Mattie Lepes. Jij doet alles voor een hoer aan Mattie Tempest. Trappa gas op die weg, die Nardo RS, nee die aarzelt niet echt. Mijn bro met die Callas doet niet aan gevecht. Niet testen, heb ik het je niet al gezegd. Voordat Danko moet weg, die bitch voor ons.
Bro die me belt waar ik ben, een eindje van huis is me niet echt bekend. Ben hier voor mijn hap en dan ben ik weer weg. In een digital dash aan de camp voor ik flash. Ik tel 1, 2, 3, 4 dieven in de waggie. Wil jij me nog gaan rippen of ze halen grap, dat kan niet. We lachen elke dag maar heel je leven is niet funny. Er is zonder mijn reet, ik kan niet horen, was een takkie.
Take 1, take 2, is er een optie, neem die gas mee. Neem alleen een risico voor een thee. Ken niet zwemmen, toch wil je in zee. Kop van Blackberries en CT. We leven net een film, alles 3D. Elke dag weer actie, net een EP. Niemand speelt eerlijk, wel op per play. Ik wil voortjouwen, ben er weer daaruit. Voor niet gecatcht, spring door het ruit. Met mijn zonder gordel vlieg je door de vooruit. Blijf hangen in de tijd, bro, je moet vooruit. Werk met beleid, je hoort geen geluid. Deur gaat open, hoe ik hem weer sluit. Ga die trekken over, spoor rot aan de kruid. Shell voedsel weer lekker binnen die ons swipe.
Zit met een king en een Nardo RS. Ja die chickie wil seks en ik gaf het toen seks. Ik ga er niet wife.
Ik ga er niet wife, ik ga er die wife en de wife en zijven dijven.
Ja toch. Ja toch, maar ik maak Engelse muziek. Dit is de muziek die ik maak.
Dus het beter klinkt.
Er zit gewoon meer geld in. Snap je?
Meer viewers toch?
Als jij...
is wereldwijd toch?
Nee, maar je moet je zo zien, hè. En weet je, die heeft... Ik zat 1 dag bij mijn oma. En ik zat te praten met jouw vader. En met Rashid. We zaten gewoon te praten over... En toen die tijd was ik een keeper.
Yeah.
Ze zeggen tegen mij... Er staan 11 man op het veld. Maar er is maar 1 keeper. Snap je? Je hebt veel meer kans om een van die andere spelers te zijn. Snap je wat ik bedoel? Of ben je linksback of voorstopper. Maakt niet uit wat je bent. Jij hebt al linkshalf. Snap je? Dat was mijn positie toen de tijd. Linkshalf daarna. Snap je wat ik bedoel? Ja, die mentaliteit ook. In de Nederlandse rap zien hoeveel rappers zijn er? Misschien 10. 5 die echt geld maken. Snap je wat ik bedoel? Als je kijkt in Amerikaanse of Engelse muziek.
Broer, de noobs, de domste noobs maken geld. Gucci Mane, wie de fuck is hij, bro?
Nee, bro, maar Gucci Mane is kankerhard, bro. En David bro, Gucci Mane is
kankerhard?
Ja, bro.
Ah, wel,
ja, bro. Jij moet zijn verhaal zien van hoe hij is, bro. Kijk. Zijn oude liedjes van 2006 waar die zitten... toch zo... Nee. Oké, qua rapper, maar qua karakter.
Oké, Trippie Red dan. Weet je Trippie Red dan?
Nee.
Oké, Trippie Red dan. Hij is gewoon...
Ja.
Maar zeggen, maar ja, hij is kankerrijk.
Kijk. Gucci Mane heeft respect van de straat.
Ja,
Trippie Red heeft Wallo, bro. Snap je wat ik bedoel? Dat is het verschil. Ja. Maar dit zijn mijn eigen liedjes. Ik heb het album gedropt laatst.
Looks like you lost another one.
if the devil knocks, never let them in. Even if your life is a field with a mesh kid. I don't want this spot anyway, I won't settle in. If you wanna catch my wave, then keep pedaling. Because I keep flowing like the current, you better have some insurance. I'm on fire like a furnace, still stealing shit I don't purchase. Never done, I am determined, it's all about still our service. You don't wanna go too deep, cause I'm only showing the service. I do this for my dread and stay locked up in the cell. Mix it in the kitchen, put a mask on cause it smell. I have more energy on me than a dude I sell. I feel like I got this whole dimension to myself. Hey, you might play to God, but I still make your life a hell. I got drums, I got sticks, I got motherfucking bells. This is not a competition, I am battling myself. Because I only wanna be the best version of myself. Hey, mix it in the kitchen and producing. Moving still ahead, that is what I'm doing. Innocent until the guilt is proven. Everybody in my hood ruin. Way yo, whoa, whoa, way yo. 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 I know that they mad and upset about the way I am. Never give a fuck about the shit that you say.
Je verstaat wel Engels, toch of niet?
Ja.
Doe eens die laatste pokoe van mij.
Welke was jouw laatste pokoe?
Zo, wat was die ding is ook weer dan? Zo, wat zit, doe ze lange? Kanker, ik weet het niet meer. Hoe heet die pokoe van mij weer? Lange 2, 3. Of nee? Kanker, zo heet die pokoe weer.
Lange all in voor de win?
Ja, all in voor de win is het, ja.
It's Ricky D.
Maar je gaat ze niet meer klemmen. Geef nog meer gas, niet remmen. Ga links, moet die straat scannen. De doelwit nog niet te bekennen. Moet weer soldiers gaan temmen. Voor je work, soldiers spammen. Wat toch in zee gaan zwemmen. Geen democratie, geen stemmen. Behalve de duivel in mijn oor. Hij 7 zat uiteindelijk voor. Je wil erin, er is een vacator. Heb je gepraat met verhoor. Deze leven geen kantoor. Dit als ik een andere kant hoor. Jullie zingen daar net koor. Ik ben laatste denken verloor. Ik ga all in voor de win. Ben met een win, ga niet meer in de min. Bijna einde van begin of begin van de einde. Kan niet poepen waar ik eet, daarom kom ik in jullie wijken. Daarom schreeuw ik van de rijken. Waarom zit je zo lang te kijken? Wish wil je zwart zien. Een strijker net Ronaldo kan ook assisten op 10. Ik ben altijd al weg voor ik word gezien. En word ik gezien, oh Merta, Mr. Bean. Wil 7-up, maar sip niet van die lean. Wil geen geld verliezen, daarom vecht nooit een oorlogen. Je knikte zonder te denken, toen ze in jullie oorlogen. Mijn bro kan je zo koud maken, maar ik kan dat voorkomen. Ik ben alleen op mijn goud rapen, if die moet weer voorkomen. Je blijft net de crowd slapen, werken moet je voor je dromen. De wegen leiden naar Rome, die zelfs dan weer te stomen. CPR vraagt of ik wil komen, hij zegt strijd naar Holland. Ik word gesmokt met een wietplant, vandaag gaan we chappen krokant. Ze vonden zwollen verband, onderzoek vond geen verband. Alle sporen waren verbrand, maar die hokken er is al band. Kan alles pushen, zelfs zand, wat je weet wanneer hij lucht. Die assie gaat door de lucht, hij zit daar binnen niet geducht. Ik pak mijn sugar net een vrucht, elke dag wordt er weer geplust. Gooi, fire wordt niet geblust, wil geen chaos, ik zoek rust. Mensen in moral is een must. Eén oor in, ander weer uit, nu
Is te veel gewoon. Die tekst is wel kankerhard, maar het is gewoon te veel daarna. Snap je? Het is voor een andere liedje of zo. Kom party spelen, kom. Doe je poek op de achtergrond, badder als je wilt en doe gewoon je ding. Of kom met ons mee party spelen en doe poek op de achtergrond.
Ik wou wat opnemen of zo. Doe het spel gewoon, doe jullie spel.
It looks like you lost another one.
Geld, maar je weet die coins moet je doen.
Hoeveel coins heb je dan? dan ben je erin.
Oh, zo, ja toch. En dan gewoon die
Je hoeft
ding
niet per
maken.
se met Facebook of zo.
Één op één, ja toch.
Nee, niet zo.
Bounce, 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 shake that ass, bitch. Bounce, 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 bounce that ass, shake that bounce, 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 shake that motherfucking ass, bitch.
I pull up piano. Hip-hop can be good or that is heavy metal. Take money like a rebel, you ain't special. I can take people for the
All night, I might switch lanes, but never switch sides. Hands off the wheel, I'm speeding. Never give a fuck, I'm cheating. Streets is the only thing I'm feeding. Believing I got something wrong with my head. I got something wrong with my life. I can't come up right here.
Looks like you lost another one.